Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. If you'd be so kind and if you're inclined, please hit that subscribe button down below. Also, the bell notification icon will let YouTube know you're a human who's interested in EDC content and not a bot. It'll also notify you when I release new videos, when I go live, and it'll also help my video be seen by other people, allegedly. So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about a unique TwoSun, a TwoSun that I was made aware of through my buddy in the community, Pocket Metal, at Pocket Metal on YouTube. And this little knife is the TwoSun TS197 Slipjoint. It is a modern slip joint, the best way to describe it. As you guys may or may not know, I have recently become infatuated with slip joints, not to the extent that I've dropped into the Jack Wolf rabbit hole, but I warn you all, I'm very close. I had started out with an Ohio River Jack that I did a review on, and a hedgehog, and I will just kind of surprise you with reviews and some of the unboxings that you've seen, and we'll see. Not that the channel's moving in a totally traditional direction, because it's not. It's just expanding like it did with fixed blades. Slip joints have kind of, I think they're cool in their own way, and some of them that I'm sure I won't think are cool, and I'll just share them with you guys. But this is the TS197. It is for a slip joint. I would say it's a medium size knife. The handle fits my four fingers just nicely, very nicely. This has an M390 deep hollow grind on the blade. Very, very slicey. Probably the sharpest out of the box slip joint that I've gotten. It does have the TwoSun branding on the blade there. It's smutsy too. So it's got the TwoSun branding on the blade, and it has got the designer over here, Wong Designs, and M390, which is the blade stock. It's got a bone handle. They call it a bone handle with this kind of turtle reptilian cave drawing looking thing with a little flying looking thing above it. Both patterns are the same on each side. Again, it says bone, but I'm betting it's acrylic. It's got titanium liners. It's got a little area back here at the back with a pin, which for a traditional or modern traditional, kind of cool if you are a lanyard guy or gal. And then the hardware is going to be T8. Not that I would take this knife apart or recommend taking it apart. Not that you'd need to, because it's held together, under tension with a spring, which is why on this knife you get a very distinct half stop, full stop, or closed, open, half stop, closed, half stop, open, half stop, closed. So it does have three distinctive, or what I would consider a nice walk and talk. It's got this real long match neck on both sides of the blade, and it's a pretty good blade stock. Let's do a real couple of quick cut tests, and then we'll do some size comparisons and some measurements. So guys, it really does, as slip joints tend to, being a thinner stock, just really slice through that paper. Very nicely done though. So it's a slicey little knife. I like the look of it. It does kind of have an interesting way that the blade is a drop point, but it kind of turns up here. That's in the design of the blade. I think it is a cool feature. I like the way that it looks. I like the fact that there's a really nice sharpening choil here. I like the fact that it came from the factory very sharp. I like the fact that it's got a very strong spring. I don't know what the rating would be, but I would give this a 5, 6 in pull strength. But let's do a couple of quick size comparisons. I'm changing up the comparison knives to try to fit into what we would consider slip joint family. So I figured instead of doing the cold steel, we would do a Benchmade bug out and a Benchmade mini bug out. When we're comparing slip joints. And as you can see, this one is splitting the difference between the mini bug out and the bug out. If you hear a dog yipping in the background, that is a neighbor's dog. Now let's look at PM2. So VV Baby Banter. Again, the idea is to give you all proportions if you have these knives in your collection to get an idea of how the knife might size up. And then we will look at it next to the Ohio Riverjack, which was my first slip joint. And how it matches up next to the Hedgehog, which was my second slip joint. So it is right about the exact same length as the Sheep's Foot Ohio Riverjack. It is right about the same length as the Hedgehog. So I was going to do a couple of other slip joint comparisons, but I won't ruin that for you guys. We'll save those for future reviews. But let's take our Ben Peterson NAFCO ruler and let's get an idea on the size of this guy. So the blade is going to come in right at 3 inches. The handle is going to come in right under 4, right between 3 3/4 and 4. So we'll call the overall knife roughly 6 3/4, a little bit over. The thickness of this knife and the blade stock, let's see if Grateful Panic's calipers will work, or I should say if I can work Grateful Panic's calipers. So the handle is right at 0.518 and the blade stock .131. Behind the edge, guys, I can tell you this thing is slicey. .018, and I'm not getting it. That's above the cutting bevel. But again, just a really, really nice little slip joint. I was not sure what to expect when I saw this little knife. I like the look of the blade. I like the material. I was not a fan of the handle, but I found it just whimsical enough for it to be what I consider is just going to be a great slip joint. And then this Lancelot leather slip that Lefty EDC sold me with another slip fits this knife perfectly. I hope that doesn't make Joe cringe because it also fits another one of my knives. I use this slip for several different small slip joints, and Lefty didn't like it because of the clip. I really like the clip. I haven't had any issues with it in my left pocket, and I think Joe just does amazing work. I love the stitching. I love the leather. I look forward to sending him my J-Cals and getting real sheaths made for those. But guys, I appreciate your time. I hope the slip joint content is somewhat enjoyable and you guys can kind of find the joy in them that I did. This knife, and I'll share with you the knives that I've gotten into, kind of range different prices, but they're much less expensive than the modern folders that I've been getting. So this little TwoSun was right around, I want to say $84, $74 before I used the Lefty 10 code to get 10% off. I got it at White Mountain Knives. As I bring you these knives, I'll tell you where I got them. I'll also leave it in the link in the description. But guys, if you would, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and the bell notification icon. Please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate instead of hate. I love you all. Till we see each other again. Peace.